Catherine, and I am sitting here at 602 Caroline Street in Montgomery. This is my parents' house, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about it. It's got a great history, it's got some cool features to it, so I just thought we could talk about that. So 602 Caroline was built in 1908 by W.C. Whitehead. He came to Texas from Social Circle, Georgia. His plan was to come here and create Social Circle, Texas. That never happened. My parents actually have his original plat on the wall that kind of showed what he was going to do. But when that didn't happen, he ended up building this house, and it's been kept fairly original, which is one of the things that my parents, Lonnie and Sonia Clover, did. Their whole goal of this house was to keep it as original as they could, salvage the beauty and the history of it, and as you can see, it's got a lot of the original shiprock walls in it. It features a big wraparound porch with what we call a witch's hat, and so how my parents got it's kind of a cool story. So this house since it was built in 1908, it served as several different things. It was a parsonage, it was a boarding house. The Old Baptist Church had purchased it, and they were using it as the parsonage. However, at some point they decided that they needed to tear the house down to put a parking lot in. Diane and Rhett Butler were residents of the city at that time, and they were looking for a project. They came upon the house, saw it, and offered the church, hey, we'd like to buy it, and they did. At that point, the front porch had been taken off, so what they did is they ended up putting the porch back on. It's a tiny bit bigger than it was, but their whole goal was to keep it the way it actually looked when it was originally built. So they spent a lot of time in here. The house was livable, but not necessarily livable, so they had to do quite a bit to take paint off walls and bring all the old original wood back. It was not, I think it was painted, and it was just in bad shape. So they spent a lot of years doing that. In 1996, my parents purchased it, and their plan was again to continue the restoration of it. And like I said, their goal was to keep it original. So you've got the original floors, you've got the original windows, you've got the original shiplap. They did not want to change that. So after living here several years, though, they decided that they wanted to add on to it a little bit for extended family. So my dad, being an architect, they built a great room on, a very large room that my parents eventually just kind of made their gathering place, because we did family Christmases here and Thanksgivings here, so it was always a really fun place to be. They added on a guest house for my grandmother. So that's kind of what their whole plan was. It's got a lot of cool stuff that's going to stay in the house. My mom, being an antique dealer, was passionate about making sure that the furniture matched the house. She didn't want to have anything modern in the house because it wouldn't be right for her. So there's some cool items, like there's an original pump organ here that I think was part of the parsonage. The tables, the chairs, and everything that you see were things my mom picked up along the way and put in the house. The bedroom furniture, you'll notice that in this house there's no closets, because they didn't build houses with closets back in the day. They taxed per room. So this is one of the houses that does not have any closet space. So there are beautiful wardrobes in every bedroom, the 2 bedrooms, and in the bathroom as well. The bed in my parents' room, they had that custom made for this house because they wanted to simulate how the beds used to be. They were very tall beds because heat rose, and when it was cold outside, you want it to be warm in here, so the bed's very high. Other than that, the bathrooms, now obviously when this house was built, it didn't have indoor plumbing. There was eventually a very small bathroom added on that was taken off, and the Butlers actually put on a large bathroom off the hallway. And the tub in that's from an old hotel up north of this area. The windows are from England. They're out of an old convent, and the doors are French. They brought those in. I'm not sure the history of them, and the sink is in an old circa 1880s buffet that they made into a sink. So it does have a second story. The second story was originally just an attic, but it was converted into a very large room. It has a really huge attic, but it also has what we call the secret room. There is a fake fireplace that you wouldn't know was a room, but it's actually behind it. There is a whole other room of the house. one things that my parents did that is in the secret room now is they did add on a very extensive HVAC system for the house. It helps keep it quite cool and warm. Obviously, it's zoned in 3 different areas, so most of the HVAC is back there now. But for what I would call one of the most iconic homes in Montgomery, a home that my family has spent so much time, put so much love into, and there's so much happy in this house. I want people to come see this house. I want them to experience how I experienced it. I want a family to be here to love this home for many generations and see their children to grow up and they learn that history of Texas, of Montgomery. I just hope that this house gets a great new owner that's going to love it the way my family has loved it.